Hello and welcome back to another one of these guys. It's film listography time. Today we are going with listing independent films that I love, and there's your example on the page, Lost in Translation. I don't mind it. It's not a favourite of mine. I just find it slightly creepy, the age difference. I don't know why. I know a lot of people love that. I'm just not one of them. So what I had to do when I watched this, I know what an indie film is. I know it's not got the backing of a major chain. I had to actually Google independent movies and look at massive lists and then choose from that list. So I could well have left movies off this. Some of these I can't believe are categorized as indie. So if I'm completely wrong with any of these and they're not indies, I do apologize, but they were on lists of indies. So I'm going to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are not on my top 10. Obviously there will be many movies I've missed on here, but these are just to give you a taste of what I like, some of my favourites. So my honourable mentions are Mary and Max, which is an animation that is amazing. You have to watch it if you haven't. Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, fantastic. The Wrestler, just love it. I know we hadn't seen Mickey Rourke for quite some time, but I think he just nails this. I love The Wrestler. Wind River, which is not a lot of people have watched this one. I'm not going to tell you a thing about it. If you haven't seen Wind River, check it out. It's a fantastic movie. And The Pianist. The Pianist should probably be in my top 10, but I'd forgotten about it. It's the one with Adrian Brody. Absolutely amazing, moving film. So let's get on to the top 10, guys, and these are in no particular order. So I'm not going to put clips or anything in. I just want to do these quite quickly for you because I know people don't want to sit and watch a massive long video. So let's see how quickly we can get these done. So number 10 is one of my favourite foreign movies of all time. Actually, the next list is list your top foreign movies. Had to include this in best independent films as well as Life is Beautiful, Roberto Benigni. This is a magical story. I absolutely adore it. It's told during World War II. And this father is trying to get his son, his very young son, through, and he's trying to make everything that's happening almost into a game for his son, so he doesn't realise what's happening. It's so moving. He's Jewish. They find themselves in a concentration camp and he's trying to protect his son all the way through. I cried buckets at this movie. It's wonderful. I love it. So if you haven't seen Life is Beautiful, seek it out. I just adore it. Number 9 is something that was very quirky. It's a horror comedy, something I'm not actually known for being a big fan of, but this was so refreshingly different and inventive. It's What We Do in the Shadows. I know there's a series, I watched some of it. I wasn't a massive fan, so I haven't went back, but that movie, when it was released, I absolutely loved. Just all the various versions of vampires all together. I just thought it was genius. So What We Do in the Shadows is my number 9. My number 8, now I can't believe this is an independent film, so Reservoir Dogs was on that list. Quentin Tarantino, this is probably my favourite Quentin. It's difficult. True Romance, no, True Romance is my favourite Tarantino movie. Reservoir Dogs is a close second. I absolutely adore this. It's got Steve Buscemi, Mr. Pink, who's my favourite, one of the Mr. Colours in the movie. It's got that infamous ear scene with a soundtrack that is just incredible. Reservoir Dogs is my number 8. My number 7 is a movie that's very confusing the first time you watch it, but incredibly clever, and it's Memento with Guy Pearce. This is just such a unique, different kind of movie. I think we've seen stuff similar to it since, but at that time, I personally hadn't seen anything like it, and it was just so confusing. You were perpetually watching it. It's like, what the hell's going on? Trying to piece little bits, and in the end, it all comes together, and when you watch it again, it makes so much more sense. But it's just such a clever movie, and you can watch it multiple times and get something different each time that you missed last time. So that's my number 7. My number 8 is an absolutely incredible. Now, I think The Life is Beautiful won Best Film at the Oscars once upon a time, and this is another foreign movie that also managed that, and that's Parasite, which is just, if everyone's heard it, if you're in the movie community, you've heard of Parasite. If you haven't, please check it out. It did win Best Picture. It is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to tell you very much about it. It's to do with a family's jealousy of someone else's position and the lengths they're willing to go to attain what they don't have. So Parasite, absolutely amazing. Number 5 is another foreign movie, is I Saw the Devil. This is just, it's on a load of people's list of favourites. It's incredibly clever, incredibly ingenious, quite brutal, really riveting. You can't take your eye off the ball for a second. It's just a fantastic film. So that's my number 5. My number 4, hang on, that's another, right, I obviously like a lot of foreign films. My number 4 is Martyrs, French movie. There is a remake. This is the original we're talking about. This is the one where a group of people are trying to achieve the moment of when a person sort of like accepts that they're going to die. There's like this moment, is it called transfiguration or something like that? And we follow the lengths they're willing to go to achieve this. There's a little bit at the end of this where something's whispered in a woman's ear, and for the life of me I want to know, what do you think was said into her ear at the end of Martyrs? I have so many ideas, but I don't want to talk about it and spoil it for other people. Obviously, please be careful in the comments if you haven't seen it. I don't mind people writing spoiler comments at all. I like to read them, but just obviously be aware if you haven't seen a movie, you might see something in comments that will spoil it. But Martyrs, very brutal, doesn't drag out, very to the point, really chilling. Love it. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is probably the most recent movie on this list. I'm not sure of pronunciation. Everyone I know calls it Titan. I think it's pronounced Titan. I'm not entirely sure. That's what I've heard on Spooky Astronaut's channel, and she's usually quite clued into these things. Titan. You can't say anything about this movie and without giving away the story, so I won't. It's about a young woman, I think it's French, I'm sure it's French, and about her finding a family of sorts, and she pretends to be someone she is not. We follow the journey through her life. There's some very brutal scenes in this. It's very weird. You have to be able to suspend disbelief. You're either going to watch this and think, what the fuck am I looking at? Or you're going to watch it and think, I love that. I actually watched this immediately after I'd seen it. I watched it twice because I'm like, when it finished, I thought, oh my God, I wasn't paying enough attention. I need to watch this really closely and really closely, like, you know, enjoy it. And so I watched it twice in a row. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. Number 2 is, I think it's a 1912 movie. It's my favourite vampire movie, Nosferatu. It's a silent movie. It's the one with the bald head and the really long fingernails. You will know the scene. It's very famous, of a staircase and the shadow of him going up the stairs. Amazing, creepy. Imagery's amazing. Fantastic. I love it. That's my number 2. And my number 1, yep, here comes an A24 movie, guys. It is by Ari Aster. I don't think I need to say any more, and that is Hereditary. Some people loathe it, some people love it. I'm in the love camp. I also did love Midsummer. I'm really looking forward to seeing Beau is Afraid. I'm hearing pretty mixed things, but Hereditary just stands out above and beyond. It creeped me the hell out. A couple of scenes, like, when I get really creeped out, I'm quite weird in that I don't look away, I don't scream, I don't and can't look at it, but my eyes widen. If I'm watching something and it's something complete, I'm like, and my eyes just get wider and wider. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at? This did this for me twice, and it's something to get me to do that once, but twice in this movie I did that, and ooh, it just an involuntary shudder at a couple of scenes in this. So number 1, Hereditary, guys, on independent films that I love. So that's that one for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for those who've told me you've enjoyed these little lists. Please feel free to do them yourself or put them in the comments, whichever you feel you want to. Shan from Roasting Willpower channel has been following along and has been doing a lot of lists that I've been doing, and I've been loving them, watching them, so I will try to remember to link to her channel at the end of this. I do loads of videos all at once and edit them way in the future, so hopefully I'll remember to do that. But thank you so much for watching, guys. The next list shall be, oh dear me, is that next? List movies you walked out on. Now, a little bit of a spoiler, I've only ever walked out of 3 movies. 1 was because my son was scared of a character, and 2 was because I hated them. So I had to kind of change this to list movies you walked out on or fell asleep during. that's the next one, guys, and I only actually managed 8 on that list because I don't fall asleep in the cinema an awful lot. So yeah, thanks for watching this one, guys. Hope you look forward to the next one. Over and out from Lisa Loves.